Hi guys, this is Jamie Magridge. I'm coming to you from my craft table. Today is December 6, 2018. I was watching a video earlier today and I saw this card that I think it was Dina Rico had received, and it used the Painted Harvest stamp set to create a wreath instead of a flower, and it was so cute, so I wanted to try it. So let me show you what I've come up with using this idea. Let me go down, hold on, make sure you can see. Okay, these are the two projects I came up with. This little box, this one I've been working on. It's a pillow top on the top and it's square at the bottom. At work, I work at Tuesday Morning, there was a smaller version about this size that had a bar of soap in it, and I thought it was the cutest little box, so I had to see if I could create it. So that's the first project that we're going to do today. And then I also created a card, and this is using Designer Series paper that is the Tropical Escape. Okay, and the two stamp sets, the bow is from Wishing You Well, the flower is from Painted Harvest, and then I used a couple framelets out of my stitched shapes. Okay, so let's get started here. Put these aside. Those I don't need, this I need. Okay, you're also going to need some circular object, a plate or bowl or something, pair of snips or scissors. You're gonna need some blocks to put your stamps on. I'm using Real Red ink, Memento, Lemon Lime Twist, and Mossy Meadow ink pads. Some adhesive of your choice. I'm today using red line tape because it's sturdier than the tear and tape. I've used the tear and tape, but it has a tendency to pull apart at the top, so you need a very sturdy tape. Hot glue would work, any wet glue, but for the sake of speed for today's video, I'm going to use the red line tape. You're going to need a pencil or pen or marker and a bone folder, a ruler, and your scoring board. Okay, so let's get started. First thing I'm going to do is stamp my flowers. I think I'm going to stamp both of them. Or not my flowers, my wreaths. And so I'm going to take the Lemon Lime Twist first. Oh, this is the old version, I forgot. And the more detail, or the more solid image from the Painted Harvest set. I'm going to ink that up. And this is one of those that's got a little bit of definitions to it, so you don't want to ink it too heavily. Take note where some of these longer sprigs are, and do it right here in this middle area, right in there. Okay, that's one. Do this one. There's two. Okay, oh, that one came out good. I also have my chamois here. It's kind of nasty, but it works really well for cleaning out stamps. That way I don't get ink all over myself. Okay, so we're done with the Lemon Lime Twist. Now we need the Mossy Meadow. And the other piece, this one, from the Painted Harvest. Ink it up. And there's long sprig and then 3 longer sprigs next to it. Kind of line it up with on here with those. I gotta stand up, excuse me. And the nice thing about this stamp set is if it's not perfect, it's alright. I missed some on that, but that's alright. We'll put our bow there then. A long one and 3 wispy ones right about there. Okay. Oh, that one came out really good. Alright, take the stamp off. You know what? Let's turn this over and do it again because I really like this other one. Never mind. We'll just roll with it. Okay. We're going to use the real red. And we're going to, there's the little dots. I think it's meant to go in the center of the flower here. We're going to stamp those with the real red. We're going to just stamp them all the way around this little wreath. So it looks like holly berries of some sort. My hand frame, hopefully. Standing up so I wasn't sure. Oh, I'm getting ink all over my block. Clean that off. Clean the ink off my fingers. Okay, now we're also going to stamp the bow. I also have a little piece of vellum for one of them. And the bow is from the Wishing You Well. It's that one that looks sheer when it's stamped. It's really pretty. So I'm going to stamp it once up here on this piece so I can fussy cut it out. And I'm going to stamp it once on the vellum. And as it doesn't dry on the vellum, I'm going to take clear embossing powder. I mean, it will dry on there, but it takes a long time. I'm impatient. Cover it with a clear embossing powder. Okay, then I'm gonna emboss that. I will be right back. Okay, I'm back. So I've embossed that. Now we're going to take our stitch shape framelets and our Big Shot machine. Oh, I almost forgot to stamp the sentiment on here. So we decide which one we want to be the square one and which one we want to be the round one, because it doesn't make much difference. We're going to take the Memento ink and this is from Wishing You Well. It says Season's Greetings right here. Okay, ink that up. And I'm going to ink it, stamp it down here at the bottom. Awesome. This one needs to be more over the wreath a little bit because it's in a circle and there's not as much edge space. Can't hardly read it, but alright. over the Big Shot. The bow we have to cut out, fussy cut. Alright, this is probably going to wiggle the table quite a bit. But we're going to take the largest of the stitched squares and cut out one of them. You want the sentiment to be straight. And the largest of the stitched circles. That gives me a little more room, or was it this one? Here it was the second largest. Okay, put it on there, and we'll cut them both out. Let's move this one down so I can do them both at the same time. So it's the second largest of the circles. I need my top plate. Where might I have left it? Here it is. Done with the Big Shot. Put those away. There's those pieces. Gotta fussy cut this out still. Take my scissors and fussy cut our bows. They're not hard to cut out. And I'm going to put you on pause and cut out the other one. Okay, I'm back. Those bows are cut out. Now we can start working on our project. The first one I'm going to do, I'm going to make the box. So let me show you how to do that. You need a scoring tool. Move these out of the way so I don't lose them. Make sure I'm in frame here. Top of the board is okay. Right there looks good. Okay. So you can do this with any size sheet of paper. For this instance, I'm going to be using a 6 by 11 sheet of paper because I like the size of this box. I need some boxes to put those little wood ornaments in that I made. And let me show you the template that I originally came up with. This particular one was done with a 9 3/4 by 8.5 sheet of paper, and you can use any size paper you want. You just want to keep in mind that the bottom of your box and the width of your gusset needs to be the same size. So let me show you on this particular one how we're going to do it. This time I'm going to do 1 inch for the bottom of the box. So on the long side, with the long side going up and down, we're going to score at 1 inch. Okay, then we're going to turn it so that the 1 inch part is at the bottom. And on this side, I need a 1/4 inch to use to attach the two sides together. And I need my gusset to be at 1 inch, so if we divide it in two, it's a 1/2 inch. So I need to make a score at 3/4 of an inch. So it's going to be a 1/2 inch on this side, 1/2 inch on this side. That's going to create our gusset. Okay, then for the center, we're literally going to divide what is left of the cardstock from this score line to this edge in half. So I'm just going to fold it in half, line it up with that line, crease it down. And in this instance, it's 5 7/8 of an inch. Okay? Now we're going to turn it over. We're going to fold our 1 inch strip back so it's out of the way. We're going to put that at the top of the board. And we have an edge and 2 score lines. We're going to score our notch or mark. You can use a marker. I'm going to use a marker so you can see it. Hopefully you can see it. Okay, so the edge, we're going to mark a 1/2 inch from the edge, right at the fold there, right at the top. So 1/2 inch. I like my scoring tool better. I can actually make a notch in the card, but with it, just kind of push it in. Okay, then I have a score line here, and to make it easier, I'm going to move it to either 1/2 inch or an inch mark so that I know where my 1/2 inch is, and then mark at 1/2 inch from that side, 1/2 inch from this side. I'll do it with my marker so you can see it. I don't know if you're going to be able to see it anyway, but okay, then we're going to do the same thing here. So right now it's on the 11 inch, so I'm going to mark at 1/2 inch on this side, and 1/2 inch on this side. Okay. Scoring tool away for a minute. Okay, so now we need our ruler. We're going to turn it over. I'm going to open this back up. I'm going to move this out of the way for a minute because I'm going to use my paper grid as a guide. I need a ruler. And we're going to measure down 1 inch on each of these score lines and make a mark. Okay. And the edge here as well. So 1 inch. So however it's easier. One inch and mark. Center score line, let's find the edge. 1 inch and mark. This score line over here. 1 inch and mark. Okay, now we're going to connect or score a line from this top 1 inch mark through this dot to the bottom of the page. Marker away, I'm done with it. Okay, so the easiest way I found to do that is to take my stylus, poke it into the spot, and hold it there, butt my ruler up to it, line the edge of the ruler up with that other mark at the bottom and score. Well, you're better off doing several lighter scores, getting a deep, nice, crisp score. Okay, we're going to do that on all 5 triangles. There's only 5 because this is only half of one. Okay. Alright, and in the center, start at the top, put it up, line it up, and you do not want to go past the mark at the top. You can go past the mark at the bottom, but the mark at the top, you don't want to go past it. Okay, this side. One more. Alright, now we need our plate or our whatever instrument you're going to use to make a half circle or curve. We're going to put it on top of our paper so that the edge of it doesn't go off the top of the paper but lines up with these 2 spots. And we're going to go from spot to spot, not past them, and score. We're going to do that at the top of both of those and at the bottom of both of those. So let's do the tops first. This is to make the pillow box part of the card. Of the box, I mean. Okay, then we're going to turn it over and we're going to do the same thing for the bottom half. Line up those dots, hold the plate still, score from dot to dot. Okay, and this one here, line up the dots, score from dot to dot. And you don't have to have a scoring tool. You could use a bone folder, you could use anything you could find that's going to score the paper and not tear it. Okay, now we need our scissors. There's going to be some areas we're going to cut out. I'll show you on our little template here. The bottom of the box, you're going to see there's 3 little cattywampus rectangles at the bottom. You're going to cut all 3 of those out. In the center, there's going to be 2 little cattywampus rectangles. Those are going to get cut out. And this one on this side as well. And this one we're going to continue and cut all the way up to the side. This one is optional. You don't have to cut it off, but I find it's less bulky if you do. And then we're going to cut off the top curves. Okay, so get started here. Okay. So we're going to cut off the bottom 3 little triangles or rectangles here. They're cattywampus because they're not true rectangles. But okay, and I do find it box goes to better if you actually remove that score line completely on these bottom flaps. That's going to be the bottom of our box. This one we're going to cut all the way up to the top of the other dot. And this one particularly cut the entire score away. Okay, now for these top ones, we're going to fold the paper in half. We're going to do the 2 at once. It just makes it easier. And then we know they're the same size. So we're going to start at 1 dot. We're only going to cut the top. We don't want to cut the bottom curve. Okay. And when we get to the dot, continue going in the same line that you're going. Now this is the optional part. There's a score line here, and there's this wonky piece here. You can trim this so that it's like 1/4 of an inch to get rid of some of that bulk. Okay, now we're going to burnish all of our folds to make sure they're all nice and crisp. Now that the sides of the box have to are pleats, and you want them to pleat inside to the box. So you're going to have the mountain fold, the valley fold, the mountain fold. Okay, and this is a little bit fussy sometimes getting these, but just take your time. Be very careful up towards the top so you don't tear your paper. If by chance you do, it's not the end of the world. Just add an embellishment across it, and then it'll look like it's meant to be there. Like a little strip of ribbon or another piece of paper or something. Okay, so this one has to go in. These two have to come up. And this is just a piece of paper from my stash. Alright, now these ones, we're going to work this fold towards the back. You just want to work it slowly, and I'm kind of like guiding my finger underneath the groove, and all of a sudden it just kind of folds. Then you just want to make sure these corners are nice and crisp there, because that's what's going to make the top of the pillow box. Just kind of work it slowly, and then all of a sudden it just kind of goes. There it goes. Okay, then work it a little bit more. Pinch the top here so you get a nice... Okay, now we're ready to assemble. Okay, now we can assemble the decoration at this time. I have a 3-inch square. This is a gold glimmer paper. It's a Nina paper I had in my stash. I just had a lot of it, so I figured I'd use that. And we're going to take our rectangle greeting, and we're going to adhere this on top of the glimmer paper. And I'm going to use snail. You want to use quite a bit because it is going to curve, and otherwise it'll pop off. Okay, so we're going to center that on the center of this gold piece. Okay, I'm going to put pop dots on the back of this, or dimensionals, excuse me, on the back of the... And you'll see this is craft on the back. I think that's why I like it, because it's easy to adhere. But it's got this shimmer to it. Okay, I put 5. Pop them off. Okay, and then I'm going to put it on the piece that has the extra piece. That's going to be the front of our box. So we're going to center that. Maybe I cut it wrong. It doesn't quite fit. That's alright, we'll make it work. Alright, then we're going to take one of our ribbons, the one that we did on the white paper. I'm going to take a mini dimensional, put it right in the center, and adhere that on the top of the wreath. Okay, then to assemble the box, there's 2 ways to do it. You can do it so that this edge here it has the glue on this side and glues to the back of the box like that. Or you can do it where you put glue here, fold it down, and adhere it to the inside of the box. And that's the way I'm going to do it. I find it easier to glue down. It's probably sturdier the other way. I'm going to use the red line tape. And you want to make sure you're as close to the inside line as possible. So if this edge doesn't quite go to that edge, there's no stickiness. And make sure you get glue all the way to this top corner so that that corner stays stuck. Okay, then we're going to pull this off. Fold down our gusset flat. Fold this over. Set it down, make sure those corners line up and the top lines up. And set it down and burnish it in place. And I'm going to use my bone folder. Get a little bit of heat in there so that it adheres. Okay, so that's the back of the box. So the back of the box is going to fold in first, and the inside of this flap is going to need some glue on it. If you're just putting something light in there, you could probably get away with snail. But I want to put that ornament in it, so I don't want the bottom to fall out. Okay, peel that off. Fold this flap down, fold this flap down. Pinch the top. Open it up, use your bone folder or whatever, popsicle stick, ruler, backhand or your ruler, whatever, burnish that down. Okay, now you're going to want the front of the box to be clean, so we're going to pop the back in first. Oh, before I do that, I almost forgot. I also have a, where did I put it? 1-inch circle punch. I'm going to punch a little notch out of this so it makes it easier to open. So just like that. Pop a little notch out. Okay, so we're going to push that back one in. Pull this one down. There we go. There we have our box. Now on this one I did add the ribbon. I don't particularly care for it. It was a little bit harder to, it was really hard to get in. I just punched little holes and threaded it through, so you can do that if you choose to. But I thought it made it look too feminine, and I have some gentlemen I need to give these to, so I decided not to do it on this one. Okay, so that's that one. There's the original. I think this might have been a little bit smaller of a... Maybe I had my paper a little bit longer, 6.5 inches. Okay. Now let's do the card. Card's pretty easy to assemble. This is what my card looks like. Alright, so we have a card base, 5.5 by 8.5, scored and folded at 4 1/4. I have another piece of that Nina gold glimmer paper, and I'm going to adhere it to the front of the card. Grooves on my finger, snail adhesive. Okay, I'm going to stand this up. I'm going to stand this up. Line up the edges. And let it go together. That's the best way I've found to get it square. Okay. Now this one is going to get centered on there. And this is that designer series paper. This is a variation of the same paper. And again, it's the Tropical Escapes. It's in the annual catalog. 6x6 designer series paper. Okay. I'll use a little bit more glue because it is adhering to a shimmer piece. Center it up. Oops. Come on. I don't know, it's that square. Something ain't right. There we go, good enough. Okay, now we're going to take our circle that we stamped already. We're going to adhere it to the designer series paper. I mean, the Nina Gold Glimmer. Okay, we're going to take our bow and take a mini dimensional right in the center of it. Kind of poof the bow a little bit so that it looks, curve it a little bit so it looks like a real bow. That up here. This is going to get popped onto the front of the card with dimensionals. Whoops, well, I didn't really need one there, did I? Okay. This will get centered, or lower or higher, however you want to put it on here. Put it there. Get it straight. It's hard to tell with this paper, these lines in it makes it look like it's crooked when it's not. There we go. I like that better. Okay, there you go. So there's our projects for today. Well, thank you so much for joining me at my craft table. I hope you have a great rest of your day.